Stenwick's manor.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Sergeant Ruffles? Really? Oh, God.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
All the cabbage you could eat.
Did Kimahia make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
I take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Mental. Yeah, I agree. I would have run away if I was on a cabbage-only diet. We're not going to remark on the fact there's just a hat on that bench. Screenshot too far below bottom left. How's that? headless statue. Is he trying to fix it? Why has that got a swirly thing on it?
Chewing tobacco.
Chewing tobacco. I can't click on that.
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
Okay. This is weird, I can't find the third item. I can only move that much. Yeah, I played at LA Noire years ago.
Looks like a knee print. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
Enough clues. Sherlock can use the imagination to reconstruct the past. Press Q to see imagination nodes. Interact with nodes to begin, then recreate. Okay. Okay, so somebody was kneeling there. You can't move my clients. I don't know. I just got fleeced out of £5 for car park, and I don't know why. I'll tell you after, she said.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
I'm not sure this works. Enough clues. So I can press Q to see imagination nodes. Press R for next, E for previous. Do I have to find more of these little things here? I feel like I'm missing something. Fine, thank you, Muller. Easter. Yeah, I've still got chocolate left over. I don't get how we find more of these. Do we find one here and one somewhere else, or are they all here? Yeah, but how do we find more, Thule? Yeah, I don't know if it wants me to find them all here, or whether they're all in separate parts of the garden. There we go. Parallel tracks.
Who could have left these tracks? They seem fresh.
There's a broken walnut statue. Is it? Oh, this here. Doesn't appear to have any relevance. Let's go in here. Concentration helps you pick smaller details around the world. When you see a wavy green circle, press Q to observe it more closely. Don't forget to pin the relevant evidence. Some clues won't be visible without it. Oh god.
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
Do
Clothes
you
made
think
of
Kimmy
Hessian.
here had an accomplice
Is
in his
Stenwick
escape?
really so miserly? A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
Bottom chops. The remains of a meal. The ashes are long since cold. No air coming through it.
Wait, no air coming through what?
No air coming through it. Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
I would say somebody was face planted into that bag of grain, by the look of it. Not somebody hit their head here. Somebody's head was planted there. Look at it. Where's the other clue?
A small navy spyglass.
How do we pin relevant evidence? It says don't forget to pin the relevant evidence. Some clues won't be visible without it. So how do we do that? Really a shack in the brazier next to the remains of a meal, charred ball with characteristic smell. The scent is hard to confuse. It's narcotic. Clothes made of Hessian. Next to pin evidence. Fresh parallel tracks in the garden. Oh, you can only pin one item at a time? god. That means if you don't have the right item pinned, you probably can't make the connections. Did you see the dev message start the game? What, the one about the Ukraine? The Ukrainian developers? I did, but it flashed by pretty quickly. Seem to have been missing.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
That is a Yacht's 9 padlock. Can you see that?
This lock is quite unusual.
You need a 9
It
key to
appears
open
that
it.
The key should be bent to the right.
Amazing. See? They even put it in the game.
Yes, Stenwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please, try to remain courteous.
So we have 2 of these clues so far. We have that one. And the one over here. There's a wavy line there somewhere, you see it?
No air coming through it. Is this a Tanifar, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
Can't see a swirly on that. What if you pin the tyre tracks and look at the broken cart? So, which was the tyre tracks? That one? Those tracks are really narrow. Like, they're nowhere near as wide as that cart. Let's have a look at the... Let's see if we can get anything out of this. Spyglass. Oh my god. Captain Stanwick's testimony. Well, you could potentially link that with the graffiti thing. Thing is, I feel like I've not found all these yet. It's at the top. It basically shows the space for 5, and we found 2. So maybe there's like more around here. Where are the other 3? Pin them to get them to show up as blobs. Probably, but I mean... So let's say you pin the tobacco one, right? So we're pinning chewing tobacco. If we go to here, that now appears as an item here. So you say, oh, chewing tobacco, right. What's that related to? Clues in the garden. Chewing tobacco was there, wasn't it? So that would relate to that because we saw chewing tobacco on the statue. And we found remains of it. So then that relates to what? Testimony? Let me click on these. Chewing tobacco. I think it's trying to tell me there's two blue items are related. Spyglass, maybe? Two blue and one yellow. I've not been inside yet, no. I don't think you can. I think he's blocking the way in. Look. Provide evidence.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
Okay, so we saw tobacco near the statue, but this guy never used tobacco. Interesting.
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimahir and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
Hmm.
Where on earth are you going with this?
What?
Are you joking? Why would I know this?
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting. Where on earth are you going with this? I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest. But I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Someone spat chewing tobacco in the corner of the garden, but this guy never used tobacco. Definitely no clues here. So the question is, who spat the tobacco? There was clearly somebody else here. Yeah, exactly. A boot print and he never wore boots. So that can't have been him, can it? It was clearly a dummy. We have somebody missing. We have a person missing. That wasn't him. There's a character missing that we don't know about. Wilex, thank you, mate. Thanks, Watson. That's really helping. So we reckon he was kneeling there taking narcotics, but he wasn't back there doing the tobacco thing. Can we pin this? This is that magic flute thing, isn't it? Where's the flute on here? Let's pin that. Narcotics events also has 2 variants, one of which you haven't found yet. Where else can I look for clues then? Usual keyhole. I feel like we're missing stuff at the moment. The pinning affects little green blobs when looking at those scenes. I'm pretty sure you need to pin the right evidence to get all the little ones. Ah, does it really? So hang on. So if I mean I have that one pinned now, which is this one. Let's pin the tobacco. Do you think it would uncover new blobs then? Depending on what you pin? So if I change that spyglass. There you go. Parallel tracks often used. The grass doesn't grow here.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
So what we're saying it here is, was it him, or was it some other actor that we don't know about? Clothes made of Hessian. We're missing 2 more green zones at the moment. Well, we don't have the key, we just have the lock with the unusual hole. We don't have a key. He wouldn't give us the key. We know that wasn't him. It's guaranteed that was not him. This person here we're not sure about. It could have been him, but there's no footprint, so it's hard to tell.
Why are you still here?
He hasn't got anything to give. It's not generating any more green blobs. Godfather, thank you for tier 2, mate. 63 months, thank you. Dimitri, thank you for 66. Eric, thanks for 85. I don't know how close you have to be, Joseph. That is how close you have to be. You can't, you can only pin one thing at a time. So we've got one thing here, one thing there, one thing in the shack, but we're missing 2. So where would the other 2 be? We might be missing evidence, but where do I get it from? The guy won't talk to us anymore. Apparently there's nothing suspicious about the broken wall.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Oh, come on.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
There's a cart to the right side of the house as you look at the guy in front. See, this half of the garden's got stuff going on. This half doesn't. I'm fairly sure there must be something here, but I can't find a single thing. Nothing. We could try having a look at the outside. Why can't I run over here? What's this? Oh, yeah, okay. Gandalf. This is how the game developers stop you going somewhere. They just put a cart and a horse there. I'm pretty stumped here. I'm missing like one piece of evidence. Maybe we need to deduce something. Try putting the boots and looking at the statue. You mean that one? You see how at the top there you've got the 5 green clues. We're missing 2. But on the first one there's 3 options and we only have 2 at the moment, so we're missing a 3rd person. So we're missing 2 big green things and options within the ones we have. So we're missing information somewhere. Surprised this doesn't yield something. Oh, hello.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
Oh, really? Somebody plugged the chimney in an attempt to kill him in his sleep? Interesting. Let's pin that. you go. No, look. Somebody shoved a ball of narcotic into the tube so it fell into the fire and then blocked the chimney so that whatever was, fumes were given off would be inhaled. That's what happened. So he wasn't neither near smoking whatever. He smoked it inadvertently. Which means it probably wasn't him doing this. It was probably him doing this. Though I'm not really sure. Was he stealing things? Did he get him high on drugs and then steal things from him? Maybe he was put in the cart. Still missing stuff. Could have been kidnapped. Or maybe things are stolen to pin the blame on him. You know, like where you steal a murder weapon, murder somebody, leave the remains, and then that thing gets pinned on them as the murder weapon. It could be that. Chris Jet, thank you for 20 months. See, that in itself implies that he was like knocked out while he was on drugs or whatever. He was just knocked out in there. Key print missing. We found another one. So where's the thing? So there's one more green clue to get. We have 4 out of 5. I found that one by wandering around here. So what's really going on? What was this other person doing? Why were they kneeling here in the first place? Why were they kneeling here? What were they doing? And then I guess the first thing they did was smoke this up so that he was high. And then presumably when he was high, they went inside and smacked him out there. Put him in a cart. Opened the lock and left. But then, what's this? What were they doing here? Waiting for the guy to open the lock. I don't get it. If they were kneeling down here, the only reason you'd need to open that lock is to leave with the cart. Because otherwise you could just go around the front. Like, that's how you get in. I would have thought that this piece of broken wall had something to do with it as a way in. Like, if you wanted to climb over the wall, this is the obvious place. But I can't find a green thing for this. Last time I spoke to this guy, he told me to keep looking.
If you find my man, I have a marvelous whiskey with your name on it.
Yeah, you can't go around the other side of the wall. It's completely blocked off. The blob at the base of the statue is the tobacco. Hang on, it's got a message of Mrs. Squirrel. No, you can't pick the lock. We're missing one more green thing, and then we can start putting this together. Because we're on the hardest difficulty, it's just not... It's not helping us out at all. We have to have the right things pinned and notice things. How would you get from there to here? It almost feels like the last one would be outside, but you can't go outside. I don't know, Carl. The tobacco, you're missing one version. I think so. Thank you for 73 months, Yov Hater. Yeah, if you look at the top, the first thing is missing something, and the third thing is missing something, and then we're missing the fifth. Wait to remark, just found more piece of evidence. Yeah, like I found that cloth thing, didn't I? Accidentally. I think this probably
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
This has got nothing to do with it, to be honest. Tom, thank you for 77. I honestly thought this had something to do with it, but... Missing something down here, maybe. I just feel sure that this is the start point of the whole thing. Like, guy climbs over here, goes there.
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
There the guy statue was using a spyglass. Wandering around with a spyglass. I wish you could just dismiss Watson. Imagination, is that the one? Let's put it on normal. Quits the main menu or load a save to apply difficulty settings. Oh, okay. Load. Manual save. Has that changed it? Okay, so imagination's on normal now. Let's try that. Because otherwise we're just completely stuck here, aren't we?
Konnichiwa, Squirrel-san.
Greetings from Nagoya Airport.
Hey, Onorichi. Sorry you're struggling to watch today. I'm struggling to see how that's any different, to be honest. What are we missing? I thought there'd be something here. There's some little detail clue that we're missing. I don't know, Captain Flint, every time we tried that last time, didn't work. I think with this stuff, with the imagination stuff, it's all about evidence that you find here, not necessarily deduction. There's going to be like one stupid little thing somewhere that I've probably walked past 5 times and never seen it. If you look, the imagination thing ends here. So it only starts here. So it has to be in this area. It can't be around the front. It has to be in here. Some crummy little detail. Because when I was in here, I turned around and that suddenly started glowing. But I don't know if it started glowing because of what I'd selected. Which I think it did. You see that? If I put it on the right thing, it suddenly like highlights. But if you don't have it on the right thing, like it only works for that. So there's going to be something that I have to have the correct thing highlighted for it to even appear. There are fresh parallel tracks in the garden. The logs near the shack are in shambles as someone had dropped them. Hang on. The logs near the shack are in shambles as if someone dropped them. There are similar tracks. What are those? The logs near the shack are in shambles as if someone had dropped them. Is that these? Is that telling me there's a clue here? It's almost like it's telling me there's something here, or there should be something here that we're missing. Let's look at the logs and go through. A garden cart was usually kept on the rain cover. Well, we know that that thing got pulled from here, which is why the logs got knocked over. Like, that's literally explains that. Have you tried pinning the clothes and going back into the shack? What, that one? I think I stood here and went through all the options. Yikes, this is tricky, eh? Don't think there's anything actually in those. They haven't changed. His servant does not like to leave the mansion and doesn't know a word of English. Tall and strong. Tattoos on his body. See, there's no way this Kimmy guy would own a spyglass. Like, no way. So why was a spyglass there? That's got to be a clue to something. Also, there are chewing tobacco remnants. Like, these two things do not belong to Kimmy. They can't. Which means they themselves relate to something here. Maybe the footprints, because he doesn't wear shoes. Nope, it's not that. What? Yeah, I think it's done. Can I have a tea? In the cup. They relate to Kimmy's shack. Come on, game, throw me a bone. We'll not have much luck here. Thing is, the possibilities are quite significant. See, I don't think this is the same as these two. These are two things that Kimmy would not have. This is something that Kimmy always has. Yeah, you could begin on this one, but like the Sherlock series tend to follow this pattern of problem solving, but they're independent of each other. Maybe a different hat will help. Concentration helps you pick up smaller details about the world around you. When you see a wavy green circle, press Q to observe the object more closely. Don't forget to pin the relevant evidence. Some clues won't be visible without it. And this is the key to it. Is there's some bit of evidence that only appears when we look in the right place with the right item pinned. I think that bit's done. This bit I'm not sure. We've done that corner. We've done these tracks. We've done one in that room. We've done one in this room. Is there something between that corner and here? Vakanov, thank you, 42. I feel like it's going to be something to do with the spyglass. Oh. Abandonment. That's what it is. Abandonment. Abandonment. I know when I'm being abandoned. A flask appears. I'm calling her out on that. I don't know, guys. Kind of feel like I've tried everything here. Walked around, tried all the different clues. Don't know what I'm missing.
This dreary rain is making a miserable day.
He doesn't want to
worse.
talk. We can't link the clues. And we're missing some key piece of evidence in this garden. There is something in this garden that we're missing. See, I don't think the mansion has anything to do with it at this point. I think everything in this happened in this garden. Well, everything that I tabbed through is just this lot. So if you go left and right on this spyglass, that's the one that's highlighted because it's pinned. If you go chewing tobacco, it moves to that one. Would you like a small hint, sudden kill? I think I would, yeah. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Did it fall into the ground for being drugged? It is possible it fell into the ground for being drugged. This stuff. I mean, I went through all that and couldn't find any highlight, any little detail that I'd missed. It's possible he fell over that box though and face planted. Oh, what?
A scrap of Hessian.
Scrap of Hessian. Here we go. He did, he fell over.
These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
A serious blow to break them. Wait, no, that can't work. That simply can't work because he fell face first. No, come on. There you go. He drags a drugged out person out of the room, but as he does so, he falls over. Yeah? He falls over, and somehow as he's falling, turns 180 degrees and puts his face in the sack. That's what I think he did. This person then walked away. I'm not convinced he was pushing that, though. This person then walked away, pushing Kimmy's drugged body. I still don't get this bit. What was he doing here? Oh, was this where he was rolling a ball of narcotics up? Is that what he was doing? He was rolling, like he's got a ball in his hand. What was the other option? Or he had the spyglass. What was he doing with the spyglass? What would he be doing with the spyglass at this point? What, was he spying on him? And he's got a ball of narcotics in his left hand and a spyglass in his right hand. So he's spying on the hut from afar. What are the other options here? Yeah, I mean, I reckon that's it. Let's go with that.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass.
And face planted the sack.
In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Problem solved.
It makes total sense.
Right. That was tricky, man. That was really tricky. Like, that was 99% finding stupid little clues.